welcome to you. This is Superscreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos State, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onka. Many thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has met behind closed doors with all three governors of All Progressives Congress, APC, at the presidential villa in Abuja. The meeting came less than 24 hours after a group emerged from the APC with the name Reformed All Progressives Congress, the RAPC, and also in less than 2 weeks to the governorship election in Ekiti State. The agenda of the meeting was not made public, as neither the chairman of the APC Governorship Forum, Rocha Sokorocha, nor the newly elected chairman of the party, Adams Oshomole, was seen as at the time the meeting started. Aggrieved members of the All Progressives Congress, APC, including the members of the defunct New People's Democratic Party, NPDP, have announced the formation of the Reformed All Progressives Congress, RAPC. The national chairman of the group, Buba Galadima, announced the party and its new executives at a press conference in Abuja. Galadima explained that the decision to form the RAPC was informed by the realization that more than 3 years after the formation of the APC, the party had deviated from its core objectives. He also noted that the recently concluded Congress of the APC and its outcome were invalid because they violated the letter and spirit of the All Progressives Congress Constitution. He said the President Muhammadu Buhari-led APC had over the years demonstrated incompetence and elevated nepotism to the level of statecraft. According to him, the RAPC remains an authentic party, hence there is no need to seek fresh recognition from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. And now the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Adams Oshomole, has met with President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, and caucus of the party. Addressing the senators at the upper chamber of the National Assembly in Abuja, Oshomole said the challenge of rebuilding the party is a collective effort. Oshomole also assured that his leadership will put a conflict resolution mechanism that will handle crises within the party.
What our people think about us in terms of our future political engagement. So I want to assure everyone that it is not unusual to have the sort of issues that we probably have in a couple of places. But I bring aboard a determination, working with you and together with you to address
On his part, the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, acknowledged that there were challenges in the party and that it is the responsibility of the leadership to address the problems befalling the party.
Senate, and also let me once again congratulate you all on the election. I wish you a very successful Senate. Let me also appreciate and recognize the initiative that you have taken, Chairman, in making this visit very early on into your tenure. I think it's a good moment which
The Senate Committee on Police Affairs has summoned the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, over the Monday killing of 7 police officers in Abuja. Chairman of the committee, Abu Ibrahim, made this known on the floor of the Senate after the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, asked that the matter be investigated. Saraki decried the death of his security officers while contributing to a point of order earlier raised by Mao or Abunwa on the armed police and army roadblocks along southeastern roads. The Senate President also urged his colleagues to pay attention to the death of officers as they were killed in selfless service to the nation. The Academic Staff Union of University, ASU, has blamed the federal government for our inability to anticipate, manage, and control the crisis rocking the nation, which led to wanton loss of lives and properties. President of ASU, Biodu Oguyemi, who expressed this to journalists in Abuja, said while members of the union, like millions of other patriotic Nigerians, watched helplessly the endless drifts that characterized the government since the return to civilian rule in 1999, it is time to act right.
The federal government, to clear all doubts and help the country, should therefore set up a truly national panel made up of citizens of Nigeria who have an impeccable record of defense. That is where we have fundamental objectives and directing principles of the state policy, where we have fundamental human rights provisions of the Constitution, 1999 as amended. The panel will investigate the crisis referred to as herdsmen farmers conflict, present the report to the country, and this will be the basis of addressing the crisis.
The ASU president also said Nigeria's hopes for socio-economic opportunities that would improve their deplorable conditions have also been dashed.
Nigerians should monitor the promises these people are making. Let us ask ourselves, have we seen any political party in Nigeria today that is saying we shall implement Chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution? That's where the fundamental objectives are stated. And the principle of state policy, the fundamentals have not been addressed. And that is why we are saying we have not seen any political party that can do it. But if we can see one that is coming out with that kind of bold declaration that we shall keep to Chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution. Because you know what this ruling class politicians have done? They ensure that they put some impracticable clauses. Take Section 18 of the Constitution, for instance, which promises free education at all levels. They have said as at when practicable. When will it be practicable? It is at their discretion.
As the 2019 general election draws nearer, more politicians have continued to come out with their interest to run for the presidency in 2019. Kabiru Turaki is another aspirant that has made his intention known in an event under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Lagos State.
As the 2019 general election draws nearer, it appears that the competition is getting tougher. This time, it is another presidential aspirant who has visited the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Secretariat in Lagos. He is Kabiru Turaki. Unexpectedly, members of the People's Democratic Party had an interactive session with him where they questioned him on what he will do if he gets the party's ticket.
It's not about me. It's not about our chairman, our leader. Neither is it about us here. It's about Nigeria. And today Nigerians are looking upon PDP to save them. Save them from hunger, save them from poverty, save them from insecurity. Just as they are begging that we save them from nepotism, from despotism and discrimination.
Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Lagos State, Moshood Salvador, was quick to also quiz him on some aspects of the state.
We have a special request in Lagos State. In the history of this country, we are the one that has water. The control of NPA has never been in the hands of Lagosian. Never in history. We have the population in Lagos State. Never in history has a Southwesterner been Director General of Immigration. I want His Excellency to put all these things down. And we have Lagos was a former capital of this country. We are entitled to special budgetary allocation. We call it special, just for the maintenance of all the infrastructure put in Lagos.
Responding, he spoke about his passion for restructuring, amongst others.
We must rise to take our destiny in our hands. And as leaders, we have the responsibility not only to make decisions and correct decisions for that matter, but as shepherd, we must also guide our flock. We must guide our followers. We must guide them to do what is right at all times. We are determined. We are resolute, just like Nigerians are resolute. And I tell you that the partnership between PDP and Nigerians is a partnership that has worked before and yielded strong, positive dividends. And that partnership will work again.
Other party stalwarts also had one or two things to chip in.
The product we are bringing to become your presidential candidate or our presidential candidate is a product that is sellable. It's a product that can deliver. He has paid his dues in politics. He has contested. In some cases, he has won, but it was taken away from him.
If we are talking about quality, if we are talking about substance, if we are talking about integrity, if we are talking about quality that will deliver this party from the present predicament it has found itself, if we are indeed bitterly disturbed by the situation we have found ourselves and have learned sufficient lessons for remedy, then I think this afternoon is an opportunity for us to reconcile what our mindsets are with what we will listen to.
No doubt, Nigerians are not happy with the situation in the country. And with the election drawing nearer, it is only natural that many would come out and declare their interest. You will recall that Sule Lamido was once in Lagos also to declare his interest. Now it is Turaki. It remains to be seen who will eventually become the presidential flag bearer of the party. Only time will tell.
And now the Nigerian citizens have been urged to get their permanent voters cards, PVC, ahead of the 2019 general elections. This appeal was made by some politicians at an occasion to honor public offices holders held recently in Lagos State.
An event to honor public office holders who have done well from the past and present, but it turned out into a political campaign ground as these politicians took over the stage at the mention of the last awardee, who is a former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, though he was represented by former Minister of Works, Adeseye Ogunlewe. Speaking on the present state of Nigeria, the call for a better government where the executive works hand in hand with the legislature and the judiciary.
It is because there is no synergy between the legislature and the executive. Fortunately for us, they are members of the same political party, but they don't work together. And once things like that happen, it is the nation that will suffer. There are several bills in the National Assembly that will have affected the lives of Nigerians. But because there is nobody that is at least, monitoring all these bills, it will be there almost forever. Because you have to lobby, you have to explain to them, you have to be with them to be able to at least agree with you on so many issues. So it is critical for the two arms of government to work together. But as long as they don't work together, Nigerians will be suffering.
This is a time for me to gather people together and talk about Nigeria and have people who will work for the interests of Nigeria, people who will promote the project Nigeria. At this point in time, we don't need men who are just there for personal gains or peculiar interests.
It's bad. People are dying. For me, the hunger is not even the issue, but the death of people are dying every day. It's disheartening. It pains me, There are some time ago, I was born in Sokoto State anyway. I can remember, the north is very hot. And people can open their windows, put their mats outside and sleep. And then nothing happens, but you can't do that now.
People are really suffering. The youths, the women, no lights, promising fail. All what we said in 2015 by Buhari, everything was fail, fake. And we can't continue by that. We have to vote for another person. We have to change the system.
For these ones, they urged citizens to get their permanent voters card to change the sitting president.
Nigeria has the potentials to be great again, and Nigeria has all it takes to become one of the greatest in the world. And we are hoping that by coming 2019, if all the youth of this country can get their voters registration card, they should go out in mass to vote. We believe that Nigeria will be great again if we diligently elect a good president that will represent us.
Last 3 years, we have had a massive unemployment. A lot of people have been sacked out of job. The economy is going down. Things are not as it is. And perhaps if you have not issue of security, the middle, north central is in crisis. It's anarchy everywhere. People hardly sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Because of poor security, the actual security of this government is very poor. So we need new vibrant leadership. The important thing, get your PVC, that is your gun. With your PVC, you can vote in and vote out.
As the 2019 general elections draws nearer, it remains to be seen how Nigerian citizens will actually change their certain president. Only time will tell. Adinike Owoye Ajiboye, Superscreen News.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to bring an end to the killings across the country. The association made the appeal when leaders in the 9 northern states and Abuja met with the president at the State House. Leader of the delegation, Yakubu Pam, said all those involved in the senseless killings of innocent Nigerians must be brought to justice irrespective of religion or ethnicity. He also said CAN will wait to see what action the president will take. Former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Adamu Siroma, is dead. Siroma died in Abuja hospital after a protracted illness. The deceased was found in member of the People's Democratic Party PDP and also finance minister under President Olusegun Obasanjo administration from 1999 to 2003. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some business stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to Superscreen News at 6, and now on the business scene. The World Bank, the Federal Ministry of Finance, and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, have commenced investigations to determine the actual volume petrol being consumed in the country. The Chief Operating Officer, Downstream, NNPC, Henry Obe, who disclosed this, said, irrespective of the high cost of fuel imports, the country's refineries are currently selling petrol at 103 naira per litre. This is coming as the corporation announced the attainment of a 2-year record spike in gas supply to power generation plants, which hit 854.4 million standard cubic feet of gas per day for March 2018, translating to an equivalent power generation of 3,492 megawatts in the country. And now the federal government has charged stakeholders in the oil and gas sector to be more committed to improving the oil industry. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachikuhu, disclosed this at the 2018 Nigeria Oil and Gas International Exhibition in Abuja, urged stakeholders in the sector to come up with strategies aimed at developing the industry. Kachikuhu, however, highlighted the cost of producing oil in the country as one of the major challenges confronting the nation.
We must be able to leave this conferences feeling that we've been re-energized, we've been renewed, we've set new benchmarks that were way above the performance indexes that we're used to. That for me will be the new normal. A new normal in which cost of production is low and competitive. A new normal in which transparency continues to be the benchmark. A new normal in which time for approving contracts, times for projects to take off is shortened dramatically. A new normal in which all of us collectively are taking responsibility for host community issues and not just leaving it to government. A new normal in which our refineries work and our refining capacity exceeds not just what is needed for local consumption provision, but that we can take on the huge opportunity that is developing in the whole of West Africa and Africa.
In the keynote address, the Secretary General, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, Mohamed Sanusi Bakindo, observed that volatility in the oil markets have negative impact on both producers and investment, a view supported by the Group Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Markanti Barrow.
To meet the projected increase in global oil demand, investments worth an estimated $10.5 trillion will be required. Investment is also necessary to offset the impact of natural decline rates, which can be as high as 5% per year. To maintain current production levels, therefore, our industry needs to add upwards of 4 million barrels a day each and every year. This background gives a sense of the gravity of the situation as OPEC and our non-OPEC partners held intensive discussions and consultations throughout 2016 to build consensus.
We sanctioned the $2.8 billion 614-kilometer Ajakuta-Kaduna-Kano pipeline as a demonstration of our commitment, which anchors on developing structured gas architecture across the length and breadth of Nigeria. This trajectory will continue to be our optimization of our non-core oil businesses, gradual transition from an integrated oil and gas company to an energy company.
Still talking business, the Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved the contract for the 11.9-kilometer link road for the second Niger Bridge that will cut across Anambra and Delta State, which will gulp 206 billion naira. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, disclosed this to journalists at the end of a meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Mohammed said the contract for the link road also included the provision of associated infrastructure for the bridge, adding that the contract was awarded to Julius Berger PLC, which is already working on the project. We'll take another break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign stories plus some sports news. Stay with us.